Today's video is a review of an IPA that's seen as one of the best core IPAs available. This is a Looper IPA and it is by the Circle Brew Co. But what's it like? Let's keep on watching to find out. Welcome back to Rocker's Beer Review. I wasn't sure I was going to be doing this review today because it's Saturday night and I've just had my second COVID jab and I wasn't sure whether I should be drinking, but I've just watched Wales get thrashed 4-0 by Denmark, and to be honest, I need a drink. So I thought I would try this one. This one I've had in the fridge. This is a Looper IPA. Now, I've seen a lot of things about Looper IPA. A lot of people saying it's one of the best core IPAs you can buy. I know that this is available quite in different places on draft, but I've never had it, so I thought, yeah, let's give it a go. 6.4%. It's got Citra, Mosaic and Cashmere. Now, Cashmere is not a hop I'm that familiar with. I've heard of it, but I can't think what the sort of flavours you get from that. And you don't see it that often. So, and this is by Circle Brew Co. Never had anything by them before. So let's crack this open into the glass. Let's drink it and commiserate Wales getting knocked out. Hopefully, I know this video may come out even after the England game, so maybe all the home nations are actually out. And let's see what this one's all about. There we go. So, beer in a glass, very orange. Slightly hazy, a bit darker up here than it is down here. It's a bit lighter. 3 fingers of not the best poured beer head, but very compacted, just off white. Looks pretty good. Quite a few bubbles just popping up there, but pretty much it's quieting right down. So let's see what the aromas are like. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of orange, passion fruit, but mainly orange. It's a very sort of sweet orange sort of aroma. It smells pretty good though. Tangerines, that's what it smells like. Let's dig in. Cheers. Yeah. Orange. And as I said, it's more that sort of tangerine, satsuma, clementine. I'm never really sure the difference between the flavours of each of those, but a small, very sweet orange. Even a bit of mandarin in there, that sort of, which has got a bit more of a distinctive taste. Very soft, very smooth, very easy to drink. Let's go in again. Yeah, I can see it's really easy to drink. It's got an amazingly soft, velvety sort of mouthfeel, almost creamy to an extent. But the flavours are very much orange. A variety of different oranges. There's definitely that mandarin orange, which to me is a slightly different orange flavour. I'm not sure the difference between satsumas. I think satsumas are a little bit more juicy, and clementines in terms of those small oranges, but very much a small orange flavour. Maybe a little bit of passion fruit in there as well. Tastes pretty good. And sometimes with orange, you can get a little bit too much orange, and it can be you can get a little bit of bitterness, a bit of the sort of orange rind flavour, but you're not getting that. It's very much a sweet orange. It's pretty damn good, actually. And although, I've heard a lot of things about it, but it's quite different than a lot of IPAs I've had. It's not a New England IPA. It doesn't have that sort of flavour, although it's really soft and really low levels of carbonation. I can see how this would go down a treat, or if you got this on draft in a pub. Yeah, I mean, it drinks really well. You've got, without wanting to repeat myself, it's just very, very orangey. Sweet, orangey flavours. Bit of passion fruit, but there's not much else to it. There's no sort of grapefruit. There's not really any bitterness. You're just getting a different waves of orange flavour in there. And that's what makes it a pretty good beer. Now, if it was just like one sort of flavour of orange, And that does sound a bit weird when I say that, you know, one flavour of orange, but you get those different layers of orange flavour in there, and I think that makes it a bit more complex than just a sort of plain orange flavour. You're getting a lot of sweet oranges, and then you're getting those, you know, and then a flashy orange sort of flavour as well. I wouldn't say it's as far as a sort of blood orange. I don't think it's that sort of strong, but it's just a really good orange flavour, and it's made better by it's a really good mouthfeel, really soft, slides down really easily. It's a cracking beer, Looper. So I'm sure there's people out there that are watching this channel that have had it. I'm sure people will be saying, yep, Rocco, we've had that. We think it's great. It's a really good beer. And I've got to agree, I would definitely drink this again. I think it's a really nice beer. So let's get some scores. Okay, the scores are in for Looper by the Full Circle Brew Company. Looper IPA, 6.4%. We've got Cashmere, Mosaic and Citra hops. It's a pretty damn good beer, and I can see why people are saying it's one of the best core IPAs you can get. But first things first, aroma. Well, the aroma was certainly pleasant, but it's very one note in terms of its orange. Very orangey in terms of the aroma, but quite pleasant, makes you want to drink it. Juicy oranges, pretty good, 13 out of 20. Appearance, well, it's a nice hazy orange colour. We've got pretty good lacing of the glass, and we've got like a little, you know, a sliver of head that seems to be retained all the way down the glass, so that's good. I'm giving it 9 for appearance. Flavour wise, yeah, I mean, it's very orangey. There's oranges on oranges on oranges. You know, there's the clementines, there's the satsumas, that sweet, juicy orange. There's a sort of overriding sort of normal sort of orange, and then there's a little bit of mandarin orange, a slightly different flavour of orange in there, but it's very orangey. I mean, you could say there's a bit of passion fruit. Yeah, I mean, I always find that passion fruit, you know, is like a tropical orangey flavour. I find it probably got a little bit of that as well, but it's just generally very, if anyone has it and drank it and just sort of said, what does that flavour remind you of, to say, yeah, orange. It's very orangey, but it's pretty good. Soft mouth feel, low levels of carbonation, nice creamy sort of feel to the mouth. I'm giving it 34 for flavour. And then value for money. Well, this beer was about, in fact, I can't even remember how much it was. I don't think it was huge amount. I think it was just over £4. For a 6.4% IPA, I think that's pretty good value, so I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. And then my overall experience, well, it's a really good beer. It's got very high levels of drinkability. Goes down well. Sometimes orange can be a little bit overpowering when we've had orange flavours in beers before, in IPAs before. And sometimes when you've got too much orange in there, you get this sort of orange rind bitterness as well. It's just too much. But this is really, really easy to drink. And it's got just that subtleness of orange, but it's probably made better by that really good mouthfeel. Feels like it's got a lot of oats in this, just to give that real body to the beer. That really sort of takes it from being a sort of just an average beer to a good beer. So I'm giving 14 to my overall experience. Top those scores up. We got a recommended, oh, something smashed. We got a recommended 78 out of 100. So it's a good beer, Full Circle Brew. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have had it. Let me know what you think. Is it absolutely spectacular on draft? Because I've heard that, you know, this is a great beer that's available in draft. But if you haven't had it, I mean, what's your go-to core IPA? I mean, I find that there's a lot of craft brewers. They don't all have a core beer, because, you know, they just like to brew different beers all the time. That's the whole point, I think, of craft, small batch beers, and they just craft different ones each time. I mean, in terms of craft, I'm thinking more of like pale ales, for example. So Steady Rolling Man is what always comes to mind as being a core day of beer. There's a track one called Samana's another one that's more of a core beer, but there's a lot. I find it quite difficult to think of those sort of core beers that, you know, that a brewery will brew over and over again. They're always usually, you know, if they're good ones, they're just always doing something different. But this one, you know, I've not seen much Full Circle brew company. I don't know much about it. I know more about the fact that Looper is a well-renowned core IPA. So let me know what you think in the comments. And until the next one, keep on rocking.